you know what was really like amazing to see is that all these, the Read and Read podcast, the basement, and the sermons that we've watched, throughout, that time, they were all there.
Yep.
Years. Some of them 3 years, some of them 2 years. But it was just like it was never exposed to us because we didn't have the desire to grow. It's like once you decide, okay, Lord, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to grow. Once He sees that, okay, you're really serious and you develop that consistency, it's like God just like remove that veil and you start seeing,
Yeah.
oh, the provisions they
They
were
were there
here
the whole time.
the
The
whole
whole
time.
time.
I just
You just couldn't see
wasn't
it.
you.
Well, but
You weren't ready.
there you go.
It wouldn't make sense. There's a lot of sermons that we listened to at that time, and we're like, oh, well, if we had listened to this like 2 years ago or a year
It
ago,
wouldn't have made
it
sense
wouldn't have made any sense.
because in the season that
You
we
know?
were at that moment
Yeah.
required certain voices,
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
And like you said, if we had listened to them prior to that season, it would have just been like a
It would just be like
regular
another sermon.
sermon.
Yeah.
And literally that became our life. And I would come home and then we would discuss, I'd be like, yo, babe, because sometimes at my job when again, when it's not busy, if I'm not talking to her, discussing God, I'm either listening to a podcast or a sermon and I'm taking notes literally at my job.
Yeah.
And I was hungry to learn.
Yeah, that's a key word.
You know what I mean? I was hungry, and He put that hunger in me.
Yeah.
Once that
Yeah.
desire kicked in,
Yeah.
got deposited in me, forget it. I was hungry, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure, I'm staying consistent. I'm getting revelation and all that stuff." And they started to come. They started to come, and then what went from never reading the Bible, couldn't read the Bible, right, to now wanting to read the Bible and
Right.
learning, to us saying no to God telling us to move and all these things, and then all these jobs, all these doors was closing, and God was like, "Yeah, that's the journey I'm taking you on, because I need you to understand
Yeah.
the Word. I need you to understand me, and
Yeah.
I need you to understand who you are."
Yes.
And once that started happening, the work started to get done in us and through us. We're like, okay, we had a different perspective of everything,
Yeah.
and it made sense from where we were and where God wanted to take us.
Yeah.
And we had, we didn't understand anything about what was happening, but we were obedient. I was like, okay, if He's doing this in this season, then I'm just gonna trust Him and go through it.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
We did.